Maybe somebody should keep track of how many times I stumble over the phrase 21 in 2021 in this video. I had to focus on it. Just so you know, I also went to speech therapy for a number of years, so focusing on how I'm talking is not something I'm a stranger to. I just don't do it very often. Hi everybody. This video is like the third in my goals trilogy this year. I did my Power Sheets prep. I put up a video yesterday talking about the goals that I got out of that prep. And today is kind of the fun side of it. Not that it's not fun, but it's also like soul searching and deep and shit. And sometimes that can not be fun. This is something I did last year with mixed results. If you're interested in a follow-up on that, I did one kind of midway through the year. But if you want to follow up on it, you just ask me in the comments and I will let you know if that's something I'll pop on, maybe for a live in January. But it is coming up with 21 things to do in 2021, whether they are like a one-shot thing or a quarterly thing or a monthly thing or a daily thing or whatever. It's 21 things in 2021 that I would like to do. These all tie into my goals. I'll point out kind of where they fall on the goal hierarchy as we go. So let's get going. 21 in 2021. Number 1, I want to read 100 books. I wanted to do this last year, and then when I went into kidney failure and quarantine started, when I get really uncomfortable or stressed out or scared, I tend to gravitate towards books I've read before. Especially this time it was the Wheel of Time series. I think I read it through twice again this year because A, it's like going back to old friends, and B, the show is going to be coming out eventually, so there's some hype there. Rereading books and rewatching series like Buffy the Vampire Slayer to me are comforting. It's like being surrounded by a big comfy blanket of pop culture. But I didn't know if I should count those. If I count those, then, and I mean the Wheel of Time books are like ginormous and there's 14, 15 something of them, then yeah, I probably hit 100 books. But 100 new books? No, I did not hit that. This year I'm gonna use Goodreads to keep track of the books I'm reading, and in my bullet journal I'll have a tracker. I'm gonna have an entire 21 in 2021 situation in my bullet journal, so stay tuned for that video. I haven't decided if I want them to be new to me or not. I guess I have a couple weeks to figure that out before 2021 starts. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Should I count books I've read before if they are like girthy books? If the idea is to read new books, that would be kind of defeating the purpose. And I have so many books that I have collected. And I'm getting a Kindle for Christmas because I ordered it and Jesse's gonna wrap it. So, decisions. This one ties definitely in with my mental health goals. Number 2, which ties in with my physical health goals and my mental health goals, and that is a year of healthy habits. I actually got this idea from a YouTuber called Riley Autumn. I'll leave her linked in the comments in the description below. She makes bullet journals for people. They pay her to make bullet journals for them and give her the ideas. And somebody that she made a bullet journal for wanted a year of healthy habits. So it was a year with like the trackers for all 12 months on it, and then there were just spaces for her to write what the habits were when she decided to enter them in. I thought that was a phenomenal idea, so I'm going to put that in my bullet journal, and I am going to do that. I still haven't actually picked January's habit, though. I need to do that. But it'll be simple, like healthy things to do throughout the year, just as a way to show that I can do healthy things, because my physical goal is to help my physical health by restorative habits. So that absolutely ties in. This is something I will be doing every month, but it will change every month. Hopefully I'll maintain them if they were good. We'll see. Number 3, back to the mental health, is to read the Daily Stoic. Last year I started reading it as part of my morning routine. I found it really helpful and enjoyable in the morning, and then when my morning routine fell apart, I stopped reading it. So I want to start it over again in January. I'll count it in the 100 books, but specifically reading a little bit of this every day is something I think is really good for helping me kind of mellow out my morning blah. It's a technical term. Number 4 has to do with one of my business goals about creativity, and that is to make art each week. There was a period where, I was making YouTube videos, which could technically be considered art, but I am talking about making fine art each week, whether it's lettering or it's painting or it's drawing. It is easy for me to fall out of the habit of that, and this fall I actually filled up a sketchbook doing it every single day. Not as a challenge, I didn't share it on the internet, I just was doing it for the fun. And it refreshed me so much and made me feel a little bit more creative in the work I was doing that I want to maintain that and track it and make sure I'm doing it every week and seeing if there's correlations between how shitty I might feel during a week and missing out on the art, and are they related to each other, which they probably are. It seems kind of obvious. Number 5, another physical health goal, is to walk for 21 minutes because it's 2021 every single day. I try to walk every day, but I don't. and I need to get out of the house, especially during shelter in place, which we have been doing since March. Maybe it's a mental health goal too. Number 6, which is again a mental health goal. This one is to call my family every week. My grandma would love it if I called her once a week. My cousin does, and she makes me look bad. Plus I want to call my sister every week. One of my sisters and I tend to text with each other more than call, but the other one loves to talk on the phone for an hour or so, and she has to call me because I hate the phone. And I want to try and at least call the people that I love a couple times a week. Jesse's a great model for this. He actually tries to talk to both of his parents for an hour or so on the phone, at least, if not more, every weekend. They live on the other coast, and he misses them, and he's an only child, and he is wonderful at it, and he feels guilty when he misses it, so he's my model for that. Number 7 goes to my adulting goal, my 8th goal, which is to write a will. That's one of the one-shot ones. But Jess and I need to get our wills done, get them official, get them all lawyered up, and that'll be done. Number 8 is another mental health goal. I'd like to go for an adventure every month. Now, Jess and I have been talking about the most ridiculous adventure ever, to drive for 45 minutes to a town that's nearby us that has a great ice cream place and get my favorite strawberry cheesecake ice cream, bring an ice chest and get a half gallon of it, because I cannot find a strawberry cheesecake ice cream I like as much, and I really want it. And I was like, is it ridiculous to drive for 45 minutes to get ice cream? He's like, if we order in advance and get curbside pickup, no, because we'll have gotten out of the house, but we'll have stayed safe. So that would count, whether it's with Jesse on a week when it's just the 2 of us or when it's all 4 of us, even if it's just to go to one of the parks here in town and go for a hike where I'd be limping along behind them. But just getting out of the house, breaking up our routine and doing something adventurous, which might be as simple as, instead of walking our regular route, walking a different route. But that might still count. I'm not setting the bar very high here. Number 9 is a quarterly goal, and it is to restore my book club with all of y'all and do it quarterly. And pick books that will be fun, and they don't have to necessarily be self-help books. They might be just fiction books. So any suggestions you have for book club, you can leave them in the comments below, but I would like to institute quarterly book clubs. So that means I have up until March to get the first one scheduled to get it done in the first quarter. So fingers crossed. This one actually has to do with my community building goal, because book clubs tend to bring my community together pretty hardcore. Number 10, another mental health goal. I think the most of my 21 and 20, like the goal that has the most in this list is my mental health, which is good because I feel like these are remarkably suited for that, and that is to memory keep each week. Last year I tried to do it every single day, and I did not keep up with it. So this year I am going to try a little lower pressure, a little lower key, a little lower pressure, but still something where I kind of reflect on each week and maybe put a picture or 2 in there. I'm hoping that that is the right amount for me to build a routine out of it. Number 11 has to do with my community again, and that is to find 2 new creators every month. Now, whether they are Etsy shop makers or YouTube creators or podcasters or musicians or something, I want to find people who are new to me, and ideally people who are not huge. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, finding a new 8 million subscriber YouTube person is not the same as finding like a new 1,000 subscriber YouTube person. You know what I'm saying? And especially within the planner community, finding people whose voices tend to get overlooked is important to me. I get in ruts and watch the same things over and over again, listen to the same things over and over again. I'd like to expand that a little bit and not only find things that will help inspire more creativity by mixing it up in me, but also people that I can potentially like share with you guys and give you someone new to watch and give them someone new to watch them. I'm excited about that one. The next 2 goals are related to the like more nuts and bolts version of my business goals about systems and sustainability. The first one is to have Jesse take over my Etsy shop. I will still be doing the artistic work and coming up like the creative director of it, but he is willing to take over the production and financial aspects of it for me to take that off of my plate so that I could hopefully get out the set of fuckery flowers I worked on all last year and still haven't finished, and maybe even more. So there's that. And then the second one is to file for an LLC. Now I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I should still research that, but I put it on the list because I think it's the right thing I'm supposed to do so that I can pay people, which has to do with my goal of bringing in help. Number 14 is to establish a time tracking routine. I was all ready to do this last year. The gout hit and then COVID hit and my shit went like wonky haywire. So I am going to revisit this one. This one has to do with my physical health, my mental health, anything that has to do with how I'm like overwhelmed and feeling. So yeah, gonna be back to that one. Number 15 is scheduling monthly creative dates with myself. Now, the Artist's Way book, where Morning Pages comes from, she also talks about artist dates. I don't know if that's kind of how I'm looking at it or if I'm just looking at a time where I can be away from all the Zoom calls going on in our house with the 3 other people on Zoom calls, away from the cats, even if it's just sitting outside. It's just some time to like sit and like let my mind wander in terms of the things that are possible with the work that I do. It's been really hard to find that space when Jess and I are both working from home and both kids are in school at home. We have a small house. There's no privacy in this house. It's hard to like find a space. Even if I just go in the backyard and do it, that would be phenomenal. We finally reached one of my house-related goals, and this one is number 16, to grow an herb garden. Whether it's in a container, whether it is in the ground, whether it's in the little things by my sink that I was doing good for a while and then I neglected them when I got sick. I want to grow fresh herbs. I cook with them all the time, and I've always wanted to learn to garden, and I have always sucked ass when I've tried at it because I am the most neglectful motherfucker, and I'm surprised my kids are still alive. I'm gonna give it the college try this year. I'm gonna grow some herbs. Not herb, not that. I'm talking about like basil. Okay. Number 17 is health related. I've actually been talking about doing this for a couple of months, and if you look at my habit trackers, it is completely blank because I haven't found yet the thing that I think is going to be safe for me with my kidneys, and that is to find a morning stretching routine, because I am at a desk all day. I get really stiff and it's hard for me to move with my torso. Twisting and bending can really fuck me up because of the size and nature of my polycystic kidneys. I need a stretching routine that will help me with my back problems, that will help me with my neck problems, that will help me with a little flexibility, but that won't injure me with my kidneys and put me into fucking dialysis. I want that so bad. I need help to figure out. People have suggested like pregnancy stretching, but even pregnancy stretching tends to be a little rougher on the midsection than what I could handle. I need to find something specifically for my situation. I want to establish that. Number 18 kind of fits into a bunch of my categories: for my mental health, for my work life, for having Jess take over the shop, for all sorts of things, the house, and that's to redo my office. I want to rearrange how my desk is. I would like to get a little bit more natural light from our gigantic back doors and windows that are right next to my office. Where they are right now, it makes it real awkward sometimes to film, but I can envision a way to have my desk change where I can actually take advantage of it. I would also like to reduce some of the shit that I have, which is too much shit, and I would like to create a little bit of space for Jess to be able to work beside me if he is helping with the shop. So that's actually something we might start strategizing while we're both on our breaks this next week for the holidays. Fingers crossed. I really want to. I love organizing. Number 19 is a home goal, and this is one that actually is doable, but there's a couple of things that sort of are standing in the way of it, and that is to finish the walls in my house. So there are different aspects to this. Some of the walls in the house just need art or pictures framed on them. That's the easy part. The harder part is RJ's room, where I did a really shitty job painting his focus wall. Each kid has their walls painted the same light gray as the rest of the house, but they each got to pick a statement color for their wall. Kat has a nice dark teal. It looks really good. RJ has bright red because it's his favorite color, but I didn't buy enough paint, and so it looks I only could do one coat, and it looks hella patchy, and it's looked that way since we moved in almost 4 years ago, and that poor kid hates it. So I really want to repaint his wall so that it's a nice smooth bright red, which is his favorite situation. So that'll take a little bit more work because we have to move furniture to be able to do that. But it's just one wall, so it shouldn't be that hard. The hardest one is going to be finishing the pass-through in our living room. There's beams and like wiring that's exposed, and it's safe, and we've had it like this since we moved in when Jesse and our old neighbor ripped the hole in the wall. But like, dude, we need to fix that. So getting all of the walls in the house decorated and fixed is on this list. Number 20 is very much related. It's the only goal on my list related to my goal to get my kids to empower my kids to be functioning adults. But it's like the core goal of that, and that is to teach them a new adulting skill every single month. First, I'm going to need to make a list of what those skills are, and then we're going to tackle one every single month, whether it is getting them their own bank accounts and teaching them how to balance a checkbook or whatever the case may be. That one kind of scares me, both because it means my kids will be becoming adults and also because am I an adult? And then my final one is related to my personal adulting goals, also to my health goals. It is the scariest goal, by far the scariest goal that I have, and that is to find a living donor. I'm in kidney failure, and currently my wait time is over 10 years because of my blood type, which is O positive, which is a great donor type, but not such a great recipient type. I can only accept O kidneys, positive or negative. Also, I have antibodies like a higher level than usual of antibodies because of my pregnancies. So finding a donor for me is going to take a long time cadaver-wise, and cadaver kidneys don't last as long. So finding a living donor is my best bet to live for another 20 years before needing to worry about my kidneys again. But that involves a lot of asking for help, and I suck at that. I've got it on this list. I'm gonna find, I have some people already testing and people who might not be able to donate to me but might be able to donate. So there is some light there, but I need to cast as wide of a net as I can, so you're probably going to hear more about it on this channel. I'm trying to be brave. When I announced my Patreon, it was so hard for me to say, like, I'm trying to make money. Come join me. It was so hard. And this is harder. I'm asking you for your organ. So stay tuned. If you're really interested in it, you can reach out to me or just keep your eyes open. We're going to find a way so that Jesse can kind of handle that so that I don't have to be the one kind of facilitating that just because of how badly it stresses me out. But that's on my list, and that's the top goal on my list. Well, not the top one, but the number 21 goal. 20 for 20. 21 for 20. See? Fuck. 21 in 2021. That's all of them. And you will be seeing them make an appearance in my bullet journal with some trackers. I already filmed that video. I filmed that video for hours. Matter of fact, it should be out tomorrow, so you should subscribe. The most ambitious bullet journal video I have ever filmed. No lie. My hand was going to fall off when I was done. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Are you doing something like this? 21 in 2021. And if you are, let me know one of them. If you're not, then let me know something you're looking forward to doing in the new year. Just let me know. I keep asking the same thing, like, tell me about your goals, tell me about your goals, tell me about your goals. But that's the theme of the last couple of videos. What the hell else am I supposed to ask? Let me know in the comments. Just tell me something. Say hi. I don't even fucking care. I mean, I do care. I want to hear from you. But yeah, this is going on for too long. Make sure you subscribe, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for my next video. And until next time, friends, peace out.